It's official. Conor Gallagher is a Tottenham Hotspur player. The former Chelsea captain joins on a permanent deal from Atletico Madrid for around 40 million euros, according to the likes of Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano. In this video, we're talking about the signing, whether it's good or not, what he can bring now he's here, because we've got to get behind him, what he can bring to Tottenham. Is he an upgrade on what we've got? Significant, small upgrade, or not an upgrade at all? But we're going to look at his qualities in particular and maybe the qualities that we don't have currently. So stay tuned to the very end. Keen to get your thoughts as always. It's going to be balanced. Bear in mind, all perspectives, but give my honest thoughts. Stay tuned till the end. You don't want to miss this one. What is happening, people? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please do like and subscribe. So Conor Gallagher is a Tottenham Hotspur player. He's lily white, and it looks completely right. You now see on your screen there. Conor Gallagher, I mean, he's signed that deal, and he's spoken as well for the first time since becoming a Tottenham player, making the move to N17. Conor Gallagher said, "I'm so happy and excited to be here, taking the next step in my career at an amazing club." He went on to say, "I wanted to be a Spurs player, and thankfully the club felt the same. It was very easy. It happened very quickly, and I'm ready to get on the pitch. I know how great the fans are. I'm really happy to be part of it here and want to create special moments and memories together." And Conor Gallagher wearing the number 22 shirt at Tottenham. Big boots to fill, of course, replacing Brennan Johnson, Tottenham's top scorer last year. And the guy who scored the goal that won us the Europa League, ending the 41 European years, 41 years without a European trophy, I should say, and 17 years without a major trophy. So big boots to fill. And Conor Gallagher took to his own social media, Instagram in particular, to say, "New beginning. Can't wait to get started. See you all on Saturday." Wow, there we go then. What my initial thoughts on this? Right. Let me just say, I can understand all perspectives on Conor Gallagher. I think there's interesting discussions and stuff that have gone on. I think now the most important thing, however we feel about it, though, is to get behind him. He's a Spurs player. I feel like he's one of these players that has caused us a tiny, tiny bit of divide, a few mixed opinions. Nobody like, "Oh my God, what an awful sign." I don't think there's anyone going that far. I could be wrong. If you're one of those, let me know by all means in the comments below. But I think he's one of those that people aren't sure about because the club have been after him before, and because that's the thing. The club, well, the fans, I should say, reject the idea of a Chelsea player joining, particularly a Chelsea captain who is seen as Chelsea through and through because he was. So whether he still is or not, I hope not. It doesn't look like it. Certainly doesn't look like it. It was that, of course, and the fact that club have chased him for many years. So it screams for a lot of people, club signing, etc. For me, I'm happy with the deal. I'm gonna be black and white here. Put it that way. He's an upgrade on what we've currently got. No doubt about it. I mean, absolutely no doubt about it. It's an upgrade on what we've got. And, Pat Matisarv is the closest maybe to him in terms of a powerhouse in midfield. But I think Sar's going to be one of those players going to pick up knocks here and here. It's going to be 1 week up here, down there. I think consistency is the issue with Sar, of course, as well, away on AFCON. And with Bentancur out, the club needed to act. Do I think the club have just acted because Bentancur has got injured? Yes, I do. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't see that as a negative use against Gallagher or the signing in general. And I think for 40 million euros, which is what Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano, very trusted, of course, worldwide, I do believe that. And that's not a bad deal. That's basically, reinvesting the money pretty much that we got for Brennan Johnson, because it works out 40 million euros to people who don't know. And now it sounds like a lot, but in pounds, Great British pounds, it's 34 million approximately. So it's the same money that we got for Brennan Johnson. And I like Johnson, but I think that's being reinvested in a good way. If I'm being totally honest with you. Quick Conor Gallagher stats here, of that man on screen. It says Gallagher's last season at Chelsea was during the 23-24 season, and in the Premier League campaign, he had the most touches with 2,603, most possession won with 221, most duels won with 212, most fouls conceded 83. I could go on. Most fouls won 64, most interceptions 43, second most chances created 53, second most chances, big chances those are, created with 11, and second most assists 7. So after a spell in La Liga, he's back in the competition with Tottenham. There we go then. Those are the Conor Gallagher stats. And that's your man on screen who's saying the right things and hopefully he can deliver on the pitch. I believe this man will walk straight into the lineup I mean, no doubt about that, against West Ham. And, currently, let's be clear, just fit midfielders are Yao Polinia and Archie Gray. Tottenham had to act with the bad news of Bentancur, needing surgery, etc., and being out for a minimum of 2-3 months. The club has said that themselves, which is not good. So we had to act, and I believe we brought in the right player. I'm glad we haven't gone for someone completely defensive. I think, again, part of fans' concern is they'll look at this and go, is Gallagher that guy that can play these splitting passes? I would say Gallagher, at times in his career, has played it as a 10. He did at Chelsea under Pochettino. He got the most out of him. And I think he's best there. I would say that. But I think he's a very good number 8 as well. I don't think Gallagher's one of those players that maybe he's an Alexis McAllister, or I don't think, he's quite that level Kevin De Bruyne that he's going to, completely be this creative player. But we've got Madison and Kulusevski when they're back on top of Xavi Simons. As much as I'd like a creative player, and I think we need to strengthen our attack, I think it's sensible to go for that midfielder. I, hand on heart, believe this is a Thomas Frank signing over a club signing. Take it from somebody that does not like the owners, and I don't want to influence you at all. I don't like these owners. I still don't, even after this signing. I think they're unambitious. I think Fabio Paratici leaving is suspicious, probably homesick, personal reasons apparently as well. Loves Italy, Fiorentina. But if you're going to, bottom of the table, Fiorentina and Serie A, who will get relegated, make no mistake about that. I'm confident that they will. If they don't, then they certainly just about get away with it. They have to ride their luck. Superb is that saying West Ham will stay up? Unlikely. Let's be honest with you. Maybe that's why they brought him in. They need drastic help. But the point is, Tottenham's clearly not an attractive prospect. I'm glad that Gallagher's chose Tottenham and we've chose him as well. That's huge. And what makes it sweeter as well that we've, hijacked Aston Villa's deal. And of course, I think they need to recognise their place in the food chain. Villa are a great club, and I think historic and a club, and they deserve to be where they are now. But they have not replaced Tottenham yet in the big six. In my eyes, that's how I feel. And this signing proves that. Aston Villa, maybe some would feel for them. You haven't got the funds necessarily or the ability to compete with us. And that's why they're not 6 clubs. So Villa can moan about that. They blame PSR, FFP, they blame the Premier League. But, that's the reality. There are rules that do punish clubs outside the top 6. We know that. But that, again, is not in Tottenham's control. What is getting business done. I think it's been a slow window up until now. We should have done so much more considering the injuries we had and finding ourselves 14th in the table. So it's been a very disappointing couple of weeks minimum. But now we've got our acting gear. Literally got business done now. And Gallagher, I think what he can bring to Tottenham without going too much around the house is, I think he brings vital experience, Premier League experience to be exact. He's homegrown, and I think he does bring leadership, right? Whether he's the Jordan Henderson or whoever it may be, Granit Xhaka constantly shouting, barking instructions and leading from the front, I don't see Gallagher as that. But make no mistake about it, when you've been captain of a football club, I don't like Chelsea, but Chelsea in recent years, not a huge club, don't get me wrong, but they're a club that have won trophies, and they're a club that are, right now, you're considered to be in the big 6, right? Whether you like it or not. The fact is, when you're a captain of any club, big or not, you gain vital leadership experience. You don't have to be this mighty leader, but you've got an element of leadership. I would say Paulini has got leadership. He's got experience. We have a good, talented young squad. I think it's overrated, if I'm honest with you. I'm not talking about in particular players, anything like that. I think overall as a squad, I think a lot of Spurs fans have this image in their head. They can't shift that. We should be in the top 4. I think it's a top 8, top 9 squad at the best. I think with everyone fit, maybe it's top 6, top 7 again at a push. I do not think it's top 4. I think we're punching above our weight if we get anywhere near that, if I'm hand on heart being honest with you. And this channel's all about honest. I take in mind, I listen to opinions. One thing I tend to do, and I've done it here as well, I rate 2 or 3 hours and tend to reflect on a story. I'm not going to be the first to get the news out because I like to be sensible and reflect, come across articulate and professional. That's the way it comes across to me. And I really care about this, and I feel strongly, about this Gallagher signing in particular, because I really do hope, and I deep down believe that Spurs fans will get behind Conor Gallagher, right? We need to get behind him. I think he's one of those players, I think he'd be a fan favourite by the end of the next season, start of next season, I should say. I think he will be one of those fan favourites. Just something about him. The reason I think that, he gives 110%, right? Fans give new signings, rightly so, more time, more patience, and more love. I think Conor Gallagher will get the same. Of course, ex-Chelsea player, I know makes it difficult, but also makes it sweeter that he's not neglected Chelsea and joined Tottenham. So arguably, that's a bigger pull for him. He would have thought that. It sounds strange that if you say to someone, because he's at Chelsea, he's loved more by fans. It sounds strange. It worked both ways. You get some maybe older fans that go, look, I'm not having this, another Chelsea player, a bit like we do with managers. And others will look at it like me a little bit and go, it looks bad on Chelsea. If you're Chelsea, you're annoyed. You're Tottenham, you're absolutely delighted. It makes his case even greater. But I think he's one of those players, because he gives 110%. He's a workhorse. So I think he'll bring energy. I think he'd bring a tiny bit, not loads, but a tiny bit of flair. I think he'd bring a leadership. I think he'd bring Premier League experience. Is he going to play those cutting edge passes all the time? I don't think so. But Maurizio Pochettino got a lot out of him. Crystal Palace got a lot out of him. West Brom got a tune for a small period out of him. Palace, in particular, is at the best, where he was that creative force. Let's be clear. Let's be blunt. He has more creativity than Pat Matisar. He has more creativity than Polinia. He has more creativity than Archie Gray. And if they were fit, he has more creativity than like Bentancur and vice versa. Only one I would say is probably Xavi Simmons, Madison, Kulusevski when they're all fit. Simmons, of course, is, but when they're all fit, have more creativity. But Gallagher is a good player. And what you got to look at it, right? January is an opportunity to strengthen. January is an opportunity to add depth. It's an opportunity to add quality. The signing of Conor Gallagher is an instant upgrade on what we've currently got available. That means that it means we're improving, and it means that he, comes in to the team. And we've achieved the objective of the January window to improve. Up until now, the squad has retracted, losing Brennan Johnson. This has now changed with the signing of Conor Gallagher. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're bringing in someone that's better than what you've got, that's really impressive. It doesn't mean that you should lower your standards that far. I get that. But I think we should get behind Conor Gallagher before we judge. So welcome, Conor. It looks right to see you in Lily White. Didn't think I'd be saying that. Of course, we have chased him for a few years. But again, it's only if you believe reports. But I do believe it's a Thomas Frank signing. He just feels like a Frank type of player. It feels like, I'm looking at almost like a Mikael Damsgaard, maybe, or a Matthias Jensen in particular. It just feels like that kind of Brentford player that he had and made them tick. And let's put it that way: if we sign similar players that he had at Brentford, then boy, we'll be doing well, because people underestimate what Frank achieved at Brentford. But he transformed the club, took them up a whole division, and changed the community. Welcome, Conor Gallagher. Get your thoughts in the comments below about this signing. Good to see him in Lily White. We must kick on for the rest of the transfer window. So I think you can bring a lot to Tottenham to recap. We listed some of the things there: experience, leadership. I think you can bring quality, depth, a load of things. That's my thoughts on the signing of Conor Gallagher. Try to be as balanced as possible. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new, please like, subscribe to the channel. Get in touch how you feel right now as a Tottenham fan, and in particular about this Conor Gallagher signing. You can drop me an email, scarfharry323@gmail.com. Drop me a message on any social media at Harry Scarfe, or simply get involved in the YouTube comments. But for now, a massive come on, you Spurs.